we are at the War Dragons events. We have one of the illustrious of the War Dragons team, Ryan.
Yeah, also known as Echo on the forums, if you know that.
Yeah.
Like the breedings and the dragons development. Right now I'll be getting Aquilius and Asteris next. There's a Mythic Garnet. That's a very difficult dragon to get. I got Frost now.
It's a fun dragon to play too.
Yeah, it is. You have to be quick on the trigger from what I understand. And soon I'll be getting into Emeralds. So then I'll be getting Kerbos and Desi next. There are some players who have Obsidian dragons. That's, well, you know, we calculated to get from Sapphire to Garnet took about 1 million eggs, 950,000. It's gonna take, I didn't do the mathematics, it's gonna take about as many to get out of Emeralds into Obsidian.
So if you notice from Sapphire to each tier beyond, so Sapphire to Garnet, Garnet to Emerald, and Emerald to Obsidian, we've actually held the pricing of the tiers, the rough amount of eggs that it costs to get the tiers, relatively flat.
Okay.
So each tier, so what we tried to do was, we got to a point to where the cost got to so many eggs that it's a pretty substantial amount of eggs for people to get through.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and so we actually flattened out the price for tiers around it so that it became sort of a static price to proceed. So what we were hoping to get to is to a state to where you can understand and get used to a situation where it takes me X amount of days or like in general to expect it to progress to a tier.
Okay.
And because before, all the way leading up to that tier, it's an increasing amount of time. And we sat down and we made this decision when we said, okay, for Platinum to Sapphire, if you look what happened with Sapphire, so when we rolled out the game, we had through Gold tier, right? And then after the game launched, we added Platinum tier because we were worried at that time that players there was not enough content to keep players interested, that you would get through Gold tier in a relatively quick amount of time and you get to Platinum tier. So when we added Sapphire, what we really tried to do is you see with Ahosat, you see with Manhattan, you see with Shadow of Prophet, that the spells became increasingly more complex and more interesting in that tier. And we spent an incredible amount of development time on that tier trying to make something extremely exciting for the users. And because of that, we're like, we're spending all this development time and engineering time to make these really cool, interesting spells. There should also be, as they're more powerful, depending on how well you fight your dragons, their power potential is much higher than previous tiers. There should be a cost increase associated with that. After we released that, we realized how much time it was taking players to get through the tiers. We realized, okay, let's take this as kind of a baseline for what we should expect and make a normalized progression so that players can get used to the amount of time that it roughly takes to get through a tier. And so that's kind of where we've held steady for Sapphire and
Garnet and Obsidian.
And then presumably whenever we launch our next year, it should be the same case. If it is not the same case, what we would plan to do is greatly inflate the amount of breeding tokens that you would get from inflate that you were awarded from events. Or also what we're trying to do now with World Map is make this an Atlas is a completely additional feature to where this is all bonus items that you can award. So events like you're used to them now with the feeding and the breeding and the fortification events will all exist. And then you can get additional tokens, additional timers from participating in the World Map so that your progress can now be accelerated even without too much additional work.
One last question. That's fascinating stuff. Oh, it's good. If you have a solid mentality on the grip of things, walking that balance of keeping the interest level high with giving people incentive to actually apply themselves to develop. Because you do get a sense of, you get a fucking sense of achievement of breaking a new tier. I do. I know I do. It's very typical. You do too, Joe.
Yes,
Try
yes,
to
I do.
So one thing that we've tried to do is, which maybe you guys have seen, is that when you get a new tier, we've always tried to introduce new spells in a new tier that are interesting, because if you fly the same strong dragon for 3 months, and then after a while, you want to experience something different.
Yeah.
So
I
what
just
we-
shelved Snowdrop,
Yeah.
replaced Nectrix with him. Yeah.
Oh,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Well, Nexus is great.
Yeah.
So what we were trying to do is also we actively tied the Seasons Dragons and their power to your tier power, so that not only can you get to a new, when you get it to a new tier, you get access to these new spells that you haven't had before. But also, it's not just new spells that you get, but also we don't want to discount your previous dragons. So you can then bring your Seasons Dragons along with you if you're still trying to get used to it, or you still like flying with them. So it's this balance of trying to keep you always being able to bring your power along with you and get access to new stuff that will keep you excited about flying your dragons every day.
No, that makes perfect sense. One last question. I was going to ask this 2 minutes ago. Well, you have a... Maybe you can't tell me. What's going to be the next tier after Obsidian?
So there will be another tier after Obsidian. I will give you a hint. So it has something to do with Atlas and the world map. Not that you have to be in Atlas to get this tier, but it will have something to do. So if you think of Atlas, there's this huge world with many regions with different biomes, which are, you have a marshy area, you have a swampy area, you have a desert, you have an ice tundra region. So that might give you a little bit of a hint to what the type of dragons you might have, and the diversity in dragons that you might see in the next.
I get it.
Elemental.
Oh, you might see it.
I'm not going to say anything. I have my wicked imagination. Like I said, I do write books, which means it's a good way to fuck with people's minds on paper.
Yes.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. I really enjoyed talking to you guys. So
Yeah.
Players,
thanks for interviewing
this
me.
is a kick-ass interview, and he's a good man.